Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And as always, I'm your humble host, Van, aka Movies Merica. And tonight, as you may have seen advertised, this is a Troy version of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. This is the movie based on a Homer poem where the Helen of Troy character is actually attractive. So actually, okay. And so yeah, I invite you to get in the live chat tonight here because I got a feeling most of you have seen Troy. I mean, this movie's only been out for 22 years. So yes, this is a retro review here this week. And so with this being Movies America spoiler warning, we're going to talk Troy, and you are not going to have to worry about whether or not you're dropping spoilers or not. I know I'm not. All right. But before we get into all of that right there, first, this.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right. Hello again, everybody. So, yes, we're going to be talking about Troy here, the tale from Homer from, just under 3,000 years ago. Okay. So, not exactly yesterday, but yes, this is your opportunity to talk Troy here. And I speak especially to my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom fueled film fanatics. Okay. I know if you're one of those, you're one of those people like me where you go see a movie, and if the movie's good or profound or really affects you, or you just can't get it out of your brain, okay, it just does not want to leave that old bubble up there, and you just want to keep talking about it. Well, as you'll find out, as I typically do, if you want to keep talking about a movie with somebody, most people are going to be like, "Shut up! All right, it's just a movie. Shut up!" And you want to keep talking about it. Well, you have arrived to the right place here on Movies America. Spoiler warning, because you can get in the live chat and you can talk ad nauseum as much as you want about Troy or really any other movie that you want. Okay, so that's what this show is all about. It's meant to be interactive instead of me, being up here just chattering away. All right, so yeah, get in the live chat and hey, just give me the business in the live chat. Okay, if you just want to, if you want to have a little fun, a little nefarious, a little malevolent fun, and try to throw me off whatever game I think I have on this show, then yeah, get in the live chat and try to throw me off like, hey, you piece of crap, hey, you asshole, what are you doing? Just throw me off. There you go. And this is your chance to do that. Okay, so there you go. And yeah, let's move on. All right. So again, real quick here, just want to basically let you know that when I talk about Troy, I'm not talking about the theatrical cut. I'm talking about the director's cut, okay, of Troy, because you're really not going to get a fair shake at what Troy was trying to be without watching the director's cut. Okay. Now, just to let you know, the director's cut is brutal. I mean, well, the theatrical cut, is bloody and visceral and brutal and all of that. But man, that director's cut, it does not pull any punches in some parts of the movie there. And you can see like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see why they cut that part out. I can see why they cut that part out right there and that one and this. Yeah, especially that one right there. Okay, for theatrical purposes right there because yeah, it's a little much, but it's good. It's good. Okay, so let me back up. It's not a little much. That makes it sound bad. It's impactful. There you go. I'll put it that way. Now, the director's cut does come in at 3 hours and 16 minutes. We don't think about it as oh my God, it's so long. Think about it as major bang for your movie buck there. Okay, so you're getting this is Costco quantity of a movie right here. That is for sure. So, all right, but really, just to wet your whistle or whet your appetite to want to watch Troy if you haven't seen it before, or to watch the director's cut if you haven't seen that before. Here, let me do this here. We're gonna do a little sharing over here because I'm in a sharing mood. Everybody, I'm a very sharing person, and I want to share this with you with this Troy trailer. It is totally the real trailer for Troy. So let's check this out.
From a director who's not afraid to kill a beloved horse, and a writer who's not afraid to kill a beloved show.
While Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet,
Comes the movie you watched instead of reading the Iliad. And that's why you failed high school English.
Patroclus, my cousin.
Troy. After Gladiator proved audiences were hungry for skirts and spurts, Warner Brothers greenlit literature's greatest prequel, then waited 22 years to make the main event, squishing a decade-long epic into a 3-hour runtime, plus or minus 15 minutes.
When does it end?
It never ends.
In one of those films that's more bloated than Agamemnon after 20 McNuggets, but can still hit you with something so unexpectedly cool or unexpectedly profound.
I loved my boy from the moment he opened his eyes till the moment you closed them.
You briefly forget what movie you're watching. Call it the Raul Julia principle.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
The Greeks are pissed off about Helen of Troy, as is tradition, because Prince Paris snatched her from the only Spartan with no abs. Now, Troy will burn if she isn't returned to her husband.
You'd let Troy burn for this woman?
But like, how much of the city we talking? Shoot your shot, Legolas. Dang. In this historical thriller set long before the invention of PJs that reminds us ancient wars weren't pretty, but the people fighting in them were foxy as hell. They even put their armor on centrally. This is what they took from us. Enjoy a version of the story that's more pro-Trojan than sex ed at USC, where the Greeks are led by Logan Roy in pigtails and a gold-plated pasta vest. Menelaus is raising one standard for his brother and a double standard for his wife.
My wife waits for me right there. Wives are for breeding.
And even though Sean Bean's Odysseus survives, his only clever trick is hiding inside the famous Trojan, vaguely horse-shaped xenomorph? Maybe based on the famous Trojan llamas. Brad Pitt turns ladies into a water slide as Achilles, swoon as he squints handsomely off in the distance. Points things pointedly at the camera. And fights bravely to finish a sentence without his American accent creeping out.
You know what's there? Waiting. Beyond that beach.
He's a sulky demigod who won't leave his tent until they're cheering his name like a high-percentage Smash Bros. Character. And the only way to really get him going is exploiting the raw, passionate, unbridled love he has for a woman? That can't be right. Changing his lifelong male companion from the Iliad into a female virgin whose life he ruined. Do you even Greek mythology, bro?
Women have a way of complicating things.
Opposing him is Trojan Hector, aka Kirkland Brand Achilles. He's got enough heat to score a victory against Sabretooth in the undercard, but puts the cart before the corpse in the main event. Now, Troy's defenseless against a massive CGI army And if they want to keep their Kool-Aid fruit punch inside their bodies, their only hope is their big, girthy walls.
King Priam thinks he's untouchable behind his high walls.
Enemies have been attacking us for centuries. Our walls still stand.
I see you're not hiding behind your high walls.
Our walls have never been breached.
Our walls can't be breached.
We have no way to breach their walls.
I will smash their walls to the ground.
They even put the commander of the Night's Watch up there.
Here, on the wall, we are all one house.
So strap on your Ares Force Ones, because Brad Pitt's toes look too weird in sandals, for a godless take on an epic myth that may have departed from Homer's Iliad and may not have many Greek actors in it. But it came out before the internet really took off, so no one outside of Greece gave a shit. Sorry, boys. Maybe they'll get it right the next time. Starring Heel Turn, The Incredible Hunk, Homer Simpson, Helen Hunted, Logan Troy, Menelaus, not in this version, My Giant Pony, Friendship is Tragic, Get Her to the Greek, not the sharpest O'Toole in the shed, Kissin' Cousins, Sabertooth Tiber, and Sad Barbecues. You can't fight City Wall.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Did that get you all excited? Is that got you all hyped, all gigged to watch some Troy director's cut there? I know. You're just chomping at the bit. I'll tell you. So, yeah, wipe that drool up your. Yeah, you got a little drool right there. I know exactly. It's a natural reaction to the totally real trailer for Troy right there. Okay, so but yeah, just go ahead and map out about 4 hours of your day or night there for some Troy director's cut. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. But all right, let's get into some more Troy. All right, and Troy is an example of a movie where the director tried to stay as close as possible to how the characters are described, or common sense would inform about their appearance, like given ethnicity and region descriptions. Okay, now the director Wolfgang Petersen, and you might know him from he directed Air Force One, In the Line of Fire, The Perfect Storm, Never Ending Story. That's all. What did he do before that? Oh, Das Boot as well. So yeah, a lot of hit movies, right? Outbreak. Remember the old Outbreak monkey and Dustin Hoffman? He directed Outbreak there as well. But Wolfgang Petersen, he knew that his characters were from different parts of Greece around 1200 BCE to 1184 BCE, and so they'd look white in skin color. Although back then they didn't really classify race by black, white, or any other skin color. That's more of a today thing. Okay, so and Petersen, didn't give in to the moronic, overly cute assertion of, well, I mean, there could have been like one African in Greece, so that warrants making a major character in my movie about Greek characters black. Okay, that of course would be wiping your backside with what your brain tells you as far as what the characters would actually look like. Why would a filmmaker decide to do that? Intellectual hubris? I don't know, as a goof? I mean, we all like to joke around, right? I mean, perhaps to serve a political worldview. At any rate, Petersen decided not to insult the Greeks and cast his movie so the characters looked believably Greek. Now, this helps viewers of Troy immerse themselves in this epic story because they're not forced to spend time doing double takes left and right, when a character is introduced and they look absolutely nothing like their character would actually look. Okay, it's not like, let's just say Hector, Prince of Troy comes on and it's Wesley Snipes. Okay, I mean, if that happened, he'd be like, what? So yeah, you don't have to do any of that with Troy. Now, for an upcoming movie based on a Homer poem, the title rhymes with Odyssey. You might be double taking your ass off. Okay, just to be honest, and just to give you a heads up on that. All right. Now, in Petersen's blockbuster, you can marvel at the depictions of Sparta and Ithaca and Thea and Troy, among others, and gaze at the fierce, monumental battle scenes and witness the personal subplots. Achilles and his doomed romance with Briseis. Right? You've got obviously Paris and Helen of Troy there. You've got Odysseus, played by Sean Bean in this, and how he's constantly trying to persuade, and successfully. I mean, Odysseus does have a way with Achilles to get Achilles to do what he wants. There, of course, he gets him killed there by convincing him to come fight the Battle of Troy right there. But personal subplots like that. That's why Troy, even at the young age of 22, as of this episode, feels like a reminder of when movies tried to entertain and or inform in good faith and weren't covered and tainted with a sort of like putrid film of agenda and ulterior motive. I mean, imagine that, right? Just a film, a movie that just wants to entertain you. They made the movie remembering how they felt in the movie theaters, when they saw a movie like, Close Encounters of the Third Kind or Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars. And they want to, what's the word I'm looking for? They want to recreate that enjoyment of a movie, right? That wonder, that awe when you see a movie there with something on the movie screen that just makes you go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm honored enough to see this. I mean, so there's a lot, there's movie makers that's what they're searching for when they make a movie. And then there's others that just want to lecture and sermonize at you with their movie. But Troy is not the latter. Thank God it is the former, for sure. Okay, so, all right, as soon as I spot where my cursor is at, we're going to move on. Okay, real quick, and I'll make this mercifully quick. Just want to remind you that there is the like button right on down there. So go ahead and click on that like button if you so desire. It costs you absolutely no money, and it takes about 0.2 seconds of your time. There we go, if I can spit that out. There's another couple of buttons right on down there as well. There's a subscribe or follow button if you click on that, if you haven't already. And then also there's the notification bell down there. And click on that, again, if you haven't already there. And then also, just to the viewers of this episode that aren't watching live, you couldn't watch it live, you got busy, maybe you're making chocolate chip cookies or, oh my God, spending time with your family. Ugh, gag. Ugh. Okay. So you can't get in the live chat and can't talk about some Troy or just, you can't go, hi, or give me a poop emoji in the live chat. Well, you know what? We could still communicate back and forth with each other, okay? We're just going to have to do it like via the comments section, which is right on down there, okay? So feel free to get in the comments section. And, yeah, it's your prerogative to let me know, hey, how awesome you think the show is or, how much you think it sucks or, somewhere in between. Or, give me a movie you want me to review or just whatever. Or give me your takes on Troy, whatever you want to put down there. So in the comments. So there you go. And time to mercifully wrap up that segment. All right, let me double check something here real quick. Just want to make sure we're all in order here because that's what I try to do. I try to run a well-oiled machine. Keyword try. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Where are we at on the let's do this here. Okay. Let's go to fight night. What do you say? Yeah. Let's go into combat mode. All right. And by that, I'm referring to the Achilles versus Hector fight in Troy. Is hands down No doubt. One of the coolest fight scenes in cinema history. And let's do this here. Let's check out some of that fight right there. And I'm going to have to pause it every once in a while because I don't want to like get copywritten or anything like that. So do not want, or I don't want a copyright strike. But let's check this out here. Gonna go ahead and do that. There we go. Oh yeah, let's get a full screen. What do you say there, everybody? Yes. And you know what? I'm gonna mute. Let's turn the music down a little bit. There we go, or the sound down a little bit. All right, nice. Okay, but like I said, I'm gonna have to pause this probably quite often there because, yeah, these movie studios, get their titties in a twist there when people use scenes from their movies, even though I'm using the scene in the movie in a promotional aspect or a promotional purpose, which is gonna make you want to see the movie. So I'm actually promoting the movie for free, but you know what? They'll probably put a copyright claim on me anyway, which makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, so this is the Hector versus Achilles fight here. And in case you've never seen Troy, Brad Pitt right there, he's Achilles, and then the guy in the foreground, Prince Hector, played by Eric Bana, is well, like I said, he's Hector. So all right, let's do this. All right. So to let you know here, and obviously we're just getting right into the fight, and I'm not playing any of the preceding scene or dialogue, because they had a little convo before they started fighting. But the reason that Achilles and Hector are fighting is because earlier in the movie, Hector killed somebody close to Achilles, and so Achilles is here at the walls of Troy in this duel with Hector out of revenge. So just check out like just the swaying and the evading and the ducking and all that with this going on. I mean, these are two ultimate fighters here in this world of Troy. Now, one thing you got to keep in mind is Brad Pitt is Achilles. He's half god, basically. He's a demigod. His mother is a goddess, and then his dad is human. Okay, so and they kind of make this unclear in this version of Homer's the Iliad, because that's what this movie Troy is based on, is Homer's poem the Iliad. And in the movie, at least, they make it they don't explain how invincible Achilles is. He's not invincible, but they kind of imply like, well, the only place that you can wound him or kill him is in the Achilles. But hence the the Achilles heel. That's referenced here. That came from the tale of Achilles there. But in this movie, I mean, he's got the shield there. So yes, even though he is half god in this version of Homer's Iliad, Achilles is quite vulnerable. Okay, but he's just very good at fighting. He's just a skilled warrior. So you see how he broke off the spear there. So just keep in mind the broken spear here. Just commit that to memory. So you see here, you've got these shields, and the shields look pretty heavy there. They look at now they, with as far as like the actors go, I'm sure that the costumer or whoever with costume designer, armor or whoever would design those shields. They've got those shields like lighter than they actually would be based on what they look like, because it looks like they got some wood and then it's got like bronze plating on the outside of it there. But it looks like if they were actually as heavy as they actually look, they would not be very effective with fighting right there. They'd be pretty heavy, so they wouldn't be very effective as far as being light enough to block shots, basically in a pinch. Just check out. That's what I love about Wolfgang Petersen and how he filmed this. It's just wide angle all the way here, and then I like about Troy is they're not. This is not a movie that's obsessed with like making sure every scene is low lit and everything's really dark and morose. Wolfgang Petersen is not afraid of the daylight. Okay, he's not afraid to have nice bright colors and scenes in his movie there. So because you get some movies and they just they go out of their way. I mean, they actually put some effort. They'll take a scene like this and they'll be like, all right, brightness level, let's take the brightness level down from 100% down to like about 52. Okay, for no damn reason, just to try to make it moody. But Wolfgang Petersen, he remembers like the wonder of movies like Lawrence of Arabia, where all the scenes are bright and in full color right in front of you here. So and this mimics that. So you see Hector get a shot, and he gets a little slice on the demigod's armor. He gets a little slice on Achilles' armor right there, and you kind of see here in a second, yeah, Achilles is kind of like, I'm very impressed. No one's gotten that close to me before.
Get up.
And that those darn rocks there. Looks like Achilles had a little rocky ally there.
To Troy. Get up. Won't let a stone take my glory.
See, he picks up the broken piece of spear there, so just keep that in mind. Now, if you're ever looking for like a good full body cardiovascular workout, you could do a whole lot worse than this right here. Now, you're going to have to like get yourself a Brad Pitt playing Achilles, for this particular workout. You're going to have to find like some armor, get some very in-depth ornate, armor like that, and get some swords and some shields and all that. But you know what? Hey, it's shouldn't be too hard. Looks like these guys could actually use, quite a bit of just a little bit of beer right here. There's something to wash down their geez, I can't even talk today. Something to cool them off. There you go. They can use a beer just like this right here, and you know what? I'm going to drink to this scene. There you go. All right, let's get back into it. Ooh. It's real now. It's real now. So right up until then, it's pretty much just been cardio. But now it's getting bloody. And down goes Hector there. And that really means something with this movie. I mean, that's the one thing about Troy that they do very well is they really take the time to build up the character of Hector, and he's in a lot of scenes, and they make sure that you get to know Hector quite a bit and learn to feel for him, feel for his wife, feel for his family, and you learn to empathize with Hector and realize that, man, this is a good guy. He's a very good guy. He's a family man. He's dedicated to his dad, his brother, his wife, his son, his baby son. That as you see right here, he will never get to see him grow up there. But before before this all went down, he made sure to he took precautions for his wife so that no matter what happened, his wife and son would be safe. So again, an all around great guy here in Hector. But just wanted to show you that fight scene here. And hey, I got Unfolding Joker here in the live channel on the Rumble side. Hey, good to see you there, pal. And yeah, let's drink it. Let's take a little drinky here, huh? Absolutely. So, all right. Hey, and Unfolding Joker, hopefully some of your friends will come in here and join you here in the live chat. But yeah, let's get into let's talk a little bit more about that fight that we just watched. And you get this ferociously choreographed fight from the ancient world, all in wide angle, like I mentioned before, and actually some in extreme wide angle. Because remember the shot that they had up there, like right before Hector is killed, or has a kill shot on it. They basically had that extreme wide shot where you have Hector and Achilles, and then you just see the walls of Troy right there. So very, very cool extreme wide angle. And there's also none of that handheld camera, shaky cam crap that's used to cover up like how bad an actor pulls off the choreography because they didn't train when they were supposed to for the fight scenes in a movie. Okay. This is pure for your intense enjoyment, riveting mono combat candy. I put it up there with great movie throwdowns like the Rama versus the Assassin kitchen fight in The Raid 2, the Beatrix Kiddo versus Vernita Green fight there in Kill Bill Volume 1, where Beatrix, or the bride, played by Uma Thurman, shows up at Vernita's house there, and they get in a knife fight. And I think, so Vernita, I think, is the first, of the, the super elite assassination squad or whatever it is. She takes Vernita Green out first. And then, of course, going back to the 80s, man, Riggs versus Mr. Joshua in Lethal Weapon. I mean, among many, many other, classic cinema fights. Now, what's interesting about this duel is that the sword strikes and spear strikes are cool, but the athleticism that you saw there behind Hector and Achilles dodging and ducking away from the strikes is just as cool there. Because you saw obviously Achilles and Hector, and they're lunging with their spears and their swords, trying to get a kill shot in there. But yeah, they're just doing some masterful, for lack of a better way of putting it, bendy, swing and ducking and all of that stuff there. So these guys must have also mixed in some serious Pilates classes in with their swordsmanship and hand-to-hand fighting training to be flexible enough to do the evading and swaying, like I just mentioned here, without pulling something and having to take a chiropractor break, okay? Because I know if I was fighting like that, I'd last about a minute, and I had to be like, oh, yo, time out. I got to get to the chiropractor, man. I got to get him. He's got to fix me all up. And I promise, I'll be right back there, Achilles. I'll be right back, okay? And it's also fantastic how they switch from spears to swords, and then one last use of a broken spear at the end for a critical wound strike. And that's why I was telling you when we were watching that, just pay attention, take notice of the broken spear there, the head of the broken spear. And, it looks like there's a 50% shot that Hector actually got killed with the broken off head of his own spear there. So irony, right? So thick irony. And there's no wasted movements in that fight. Every move is made with the intent to kill, all right? Every move is made with the intent to end a life. The fight also spells out how good a fighter Hector is, since he gives Achilles a much longer fight than we've seen from anyone else prior in this movie, until he doesn't, okay? As we saw. Sadly, Hector actually gets critically wounded, like I said, with his own broken spear. I think there's a 50% chance of that there, because his spear got busted. Achilles' spears got busted, or Achilles' spear got busted right there. And then Achilles ends it with a direct sword strike right into Hector's heart there. In spite of that, though, we do hear Achilles say later in the movie to Hector's father that his son was the best that he ever fought. So, to Hector, let's drink it up to Hector, everyone. Excellent. There we go. A valiant warrior indeed, right there. So, all right. What should we do next here, everybody? Oh, I know what we should do here. Now that we've talked about the epic Troy fight here, I think that it's time for us to wet our whistle, hydrate a little bit, because we've been talking about Troy here for a little bit of time on this episode of Movies Merica. Let me try that again. Movies Merica spoiler warning. Okay, so with that, let's get into some brew review time. All right, let me show you tonight's brew for the Movies Merica spoiler warning here. And that is a little Diebold AF Amber Ale here. And the AF stands for Anton Francois here. Now, that makes sense once you know that this is a signature French style, or Francais, amber ale. And the Diebold Brewing Company that brews this is in Denver, Colorado. Okay, so, and it comes to us at an alcohol by volume percentage of 5.5. And hey, you know what? The most important thing is, how does it taste, right? Well, it's got a crisp, balanced, and deeply bready taste to it, okay? And it's got, it relies on French traditional ingredients there as far as the brewing there. So now let's get into some technical parts of the taste of this beer. So it's got a malt base, and it's got rich flavors of toasty bread, biscuit, and light caramel. Okay. And also, as far as the hops goes, the hops that it uses is these French Strisel malt hops, if I'm saying that correctly, there. And it just makes this beer light, earthy, and it gives it a floral bitterness. Okay. And then as far as the yeast and the finish here, that all plays into the taste of this particular beer. The French yeast leaves a subtle touch of stone fruit. Okay. So, but it ferments very clean, and the beer finishes dry and crisp, making it highly refreshing and easy to drink. So now I'm gonna concur on the refreshing and the easy to drink right there, because I'm recommending this brew right here. I am recommending this French style amber ale right here, because it's got great flavor to it. But the flavor is not too overpowering, and I'm not getting any money from Diebold Brewing Company, in case you're wondering. So it's a totally legit, objective review here. But I found myself enjoying this brew right here. Okay, so the French, they may be surrender monkeys, but you know what? Some of those French, they do know how to brew a beer, and this is proof positive of that right there. So, and it also features the Gallic rooster, which is a symbol of French nationality on the can right there, as you see. So, but now that I've recommended it here, I'm going to just get a drink off this here again real quick. And hey, if you got a beer in your hand or whatever you're drinking, hey, go ahead and drink up. Excellent. Excellent. I'm going to set that down right there. So, and so as far as food pairings, because I always like to talk about the food pairings with the beers that I like, and the types of foods that pair well with this French style amber ale here. So, French style amber ale would be spicy dishes. Okay. And so you could pair it with like a Thai red curry, chicken tikka masala, or something like jambalaya. Some good old Creole jambalaya would get washed down very well with this amber ale. Roasted and grilled meats of all kinds there. You get grilled pork chops, some roasted chicken. How about a good old smash burger, right? Okay. Also, matches well and mates very well with some rich seafood. Okay, you get some fish and chips, some grilled salmon, or some fried calamari. And I love me some fried calamari. Yum, yum, yum. There you go. Good stuff. Hearty cheeses, so it goes good with like a medium cheddar and a Gouda or a French Comté, if I'm pronouncing that right, French Comté. So there you go. If I've got any French people there watching right now, and I'm mispronouncing Comté or Comté, it's spelled. Pardon me, wasn't very cool. Sorry, it's spelled Comte with an accent on the e. So yeah, feel free to get in the live chat and chastise me if I've got that mispronounced right there. Also, interestingly enough, it goes with fruit desserts. Like apple tarts, or peach cobbler, stuff like that. So I gave you a Schindler's List, okay, of different foods that this here beer does pair very, very well with. Okay. And just to let you know here, in case you don't live in the Denver area or anywhere in Colorado, and you want to get your hands on this, and I would recommend you get your hands on this because it is that good. You can go to some place like gopuff.com, Puff, like your Puff the Magic Dragon, or Puffy right there. Your Jeez, I can't even talk here tonight. So gopuff.com. We'll just leave it at that. So gopuff.com. And you can go there and you can get beer. They specialize in getting beers to people that are in areas like nowhere near where the beer is normally available. So, and you're going to pay a little bit. You're going to pay some scratch, okay, for GoPuff's services right there. But they will get that beer in your hand, that's for sure. Now, if you're in the Denver area, hell, just fire up Uber Eats on your phone, or Open Bar. It's another app on your phone to get that beer in your hand. Or hey, don't be lazy. Just lace up your sneakers and go and jump in your car, pantless or with pants, and grab the beer at your local grocery store or something like that if you're in the Denver area. So, but anyway, so I just wanted to let you know how to get your hands on the beer because I don't want to hog all this delicious beer to myself. Okay, there you go. But with that, I think it's time to wrap up this here brew review time. All right, let's do this here. I just want to show you something right here that I think you are going to be very happy that I did show you right here. And let's do that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Gonna get my buttons working right. There we go. Nice. Okay. And so, just wanted to show you here real quick the Movies Merica merch store. And it's very easy to get to this Movies Merica merch store website there because the link is down in the description there. Absolutely, for your convenience, for your ease there. Absolutely. But let's kind of come down here and just see the rest of the merchandise here. So as you see here, we got this camo trucker hat with the Big Mugs logo on there. Just to let you know, there is no purple on that hat. So then we've got some other items here with the Big Mugs style Movies Merica logo. We got T-shirts of different sizes and styles there. And just to let you know, you can get these, most of these items in different colors. So if you just click in here, you can just go in there and you can just click it on in different colors and pink and all that right there. It's the women's shirt right there. So there you go. Different sizes, of course. You guys know how shopping goes on a website. You guys are all over this. You're all good to go. Also have a tank top there, baseball long sleeve. You got eyes. You can see what's on here. Now, if you happen to know somebody or you are somebody that can pull off a sports bra there, hey, we've got the Big Mugs sports bra there for your wearing pleasure. Okay. And then also we have some hats there, different style hats with the big mugs style Movies Merica logo there. Okay. And then we're moving on to the Hollyweird style of Movies Merica logo. And again, different t-shirts of different styles, got the tank top, we've got the baseball long sleeve as well, the hoodie, the windbreaker. And then even further down here, we've got items here, clothing items with my personal favorite Movies Merica logo. That is the Black Adam style of Movies Merica logo here. I just like that molten lava kind of thing going right there, on the shirt. So just gotta get a see, check that out. Look at that. There you go. Yeah, looks like you're in a steel mill, right? Very, very AC/DC, very, very Black Adam, right? But yeah, you got the t-shirts and tank tops and baseball long sleeves with my favorite style of Movies Merica logo. But that's my favorite. Okay. Now you might be saying, hey, Van, hey, you know what? I've got all your Movies Merica gear. I'm good to go. Okay. My closet is full of all the Movies Merica gear. But what I really need, because, when I wake up in the morning, I like myself a nice, hot, steaming cup of coffee, but it just doesn't taste the same as it would. It just doesn't have that excellent, that most excellent taste that it would have if my coffee was in some kind of drinkware with Movies Merica on it. And to you, I say, friend, you're ready to be happy, because boy, howdy, do we have some Movies Merica drinkware. And it's right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And speaking of your coffee, here's a Movies Merica coffee cup right there with the Big Mugs logo. Absolutely. And we've got a can-shaped glass here. Got the pint glass. We got different kinds of koozies as well. We got different ways of classing up your workstation with these different sized desk mats there as well. So variety all over the place. Okay. And last time I heard, it's the spice of life there. All right. So yeah, get your hands on some Movies Merica items here. They make great gifts there as well. Okay. Especially for your movie lovers. Okay. So get your hands on that. And as you see, we've got some price reductions here as well. So, and as a reminder, again, the link to this website is down in the description right there. So get there and just go crazy, go nuts, enjoy yourself shopping, and do your thing right there, everybody. Okay, so all right. Just want to let you know about that, and I have accomplished that mission. That's for sure. So, all right, moving on. All right, let me double check something here real quick. I want to see something, and all right, we are locked and loaded, good to go right there. Okay, so hey, we got some more Troy to talk about right here. Okay, so all you Troy fans, don't worry, we are not done talking about Troy. Okay, and let's do this. Let's talk about some of the stars of the show here. Let's do that right there. Let's get out of there. There you go. Some of the, not all the stars of Troy here, but some certain stars that I've picked out here. Let's check that out, and let's go over here, and there we go. All right, so right there we have Diane Kruger as Helen of Troy. Okay, and for Diane Kruger, Garrett Hedlund, who plays Patroclus. Excuse me. Boy, I need a drink. There we go. Sorry for the okay. And also we have Rose Byrne, who plays Briseis, who's the love interest of Achilles. But for Diane Kruger, Garrett Hedlund, and Rose Byrne, Troy was the beginning of long and continuing careers for them. Now, Kruger went on to do the National Treasure movies with Nicolas Cage there, and then she also was in Inglourious Bastards as what was her Bridget von Hammersmark. Okay, didn't go very good for Bridget in that movie. And then she starred in the overlooked FX series, The Bridge, that I thought she was excellent in. She kind of played a kind of like a autistic character in that. She kind of reminded me of the character in The Good Doctor there, but a smoke show. She's a complete blonde smoke show there as she's autistic. Okay, and then that is Diane Kruger right there. Okay, so and then we've got Garrett Hedlund right here. Garrett Hedlund. He went on to be in Four Brothers with Mark Wahlberg. He was in the Friday Night Lights movie with Billy Bob Thornton. He was in Tron Legacy and is currently in the Sylvester Stallone series Tulsa King, which is a halfway decent series. It's kind of corny, but yeah, he is in that movie. And then lastly, Rose Byrne. There you go. Yeah, it's hard to keep your eyes off the screen with her on there. So, but yeah, Rose Byrne has really blasted off since Troy. I mean, she was in Sunshine. She was in 28 Weeks Later, Wicker Park, and that is a movie where both her and Diane Kruger were in that movie the same year Troy came out. She was in Bridesmaids. Remember, she was like the hottest woman in that movie where what's her face, Kristen Wiig is trying to live up to Rose Byrne's character in Bridesmaids. There, she was also in X-Men First Class. She was in the Insidious movies, Neighbors. There was Zac Efron. What else was she? Oh, she was in Spy. Okay, so she was in a couple of Paul Feig movies, Bridesmaids and Spy, among many, many other movies. And, Rose Byrne should actually thank her Troy co-star, Eric Bana, who, of course, played Hector that we saw in the fight there earlier, for her getting that role and, getting a nitro boost to her career, because Eric Bana is the one who got her the role of Briseis in Troy. There was like a number of actresses that they wanted, but at least one of them that they didn't want to do the movie because it would require that pretty steamy sex scene in the movie there with Brad Pitt. And so there was like one, I think she was Indian, and she was like, can't do the sex scene there. So she obviously maybe a religious thing, or she's got like a really jealous boyfriend or husband or something like that. So, but back to Rose Byrne and Eric Bana. These two Australian actors were really good friends, and Bana wanted to do his friend a solid and make sure she'll be apples, to turn an Australian slang phrase there. Now, Troy was also the movie where we got to see plenty of veteran actors, some towards the end of their careers. And the most notable of those would be, of course, Peter O'Toole, pictured here, Lawrence of Arabia himself. And it's widely known that he would not like me associating his name with this movie, Troy, since there's likely filthy dumpsters he likes more than this movie, all right? And just to let you know, Peter O'Toole passed in 2013. And then we've got Brian Cox. He's a veteran actor that if you don't know who Brian Cox is and you're looking at these pictures of him right now in your head, you might be like, oh, that guy. Okay, yeah, he was in this movie and that movie. And hey, honey, what's a movie that this guy's in? Huh? Was that The Long Kiss Goodnight? That's right. He was in The Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. Absolutely there. So, Brian Cox, who of course plays Agamemnon in Troy, he fought hard for his Agamemnon role here in Troy. And also Brian Cox, just a little useless movie trivia about him. He actually played the first on-screen version of Hannibal Lecter in the Michael Mann movie Manhunter in 1986. Okay. And he's also been in some massive movies like Braveheart. Okay. He played William Wallace's Uncle Argyle. And he's the uncle that shows up after William Wallace's dad or father and brother were killed. And his Uncle Argyle comes and and raises him there. Again, like I said, the aforementioned A Long Kiss Goodnight. He was in a couple of Jason Bourne movies. He was in X-Men 2. That's the picture you see at the bottom there. He was in the movie Red with Bruce Willis and Helen Mirren and John Malkovich. Rise of the Planet of the Apes in that as well. And many, many more. And, of course, I can't leave out that he played the captain in the Super Troopers movies, of course, okay? And now he's likely most known for playing Logan Roy in the HBO series Succession. And then we also have Troy also has an appearance from Julian Glover. And Julian Glover, again, another longtime actor who tends to play bad guys, like in the Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only. He plays like Christatos, I think is his name, in For Your Eyes Only, the Roger Moore James Bond movie there. And if you haven't seen For Your Eyes Only, well, I just spoiled that movie for you because in For Your Eyes Only, you don't really realize he's the bad guy until like the beginning of the third act. So, sorry, but that movie did come out in 1981, and it really is a James Bond movie that you should have seen by now. And if you haven't, that's your fault. So, also he was in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, and that's the picture you see up there at the top there with Julian Glover. And then also he was in The Empire Strikes Back. He played he played somebody on the side of the Empire there. Again, like I said, he does tend to play bad guys. So, of course, he's going to be on the side of the Empire in Empire Strikes Back there. And he was also a real turd of a character as Grand Maester Pycelle in Game of Thrones, all right? So, no matter what you think of Troy, you have to admit it has a powerhouse cast of young guns and the old guard, okay? So you cannot doubt that whatsoever. That's for sure. All right, so let's move on here. Let's get a little further into the show right there. And let me double check something. I want to see the chats and all that good stuff. There we go. All right, I think we are ready for what is some people's, including mine, favorite segment of all the Movies Merica shows that I do. I do a show on Sunday, and I do a show, obviously, tonight, Thursday night. And this is my favorite segment between all the shows right there. And that would be the movie military moment segment, okay? Now, if we have any newbies here, some Daisy Fresh rookies, I should probably, specify what the movie military moment segment is. And so, quickly, it is just the segment where I give myself a few minutes to pay homage or pay tribute to a heroic military person who did win who received the Congressional Medal of Honor, the old CMH. Okay. Now, right now, you might be saying, "Hey, Van, it's very, very selfless of you. That's cool of you to pay tribute to a military hero like that." But riddle me this: what the hell does that have to do with movies, man? And you know what? That is a good question. That's a sensible question, and I like where your head's at. All right, and I will explain that to you, but not until after this. All right. So I owe you one explanation, everybody. And so the connection between movies and me paying tribute to a military hero is, as you would imagine, if you are a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, you got it for doing something heroic, right? Okay, you didn't get it for being the biggest drunk on base. All right, you didn't get it for being the best letter sorter, at the base post office or anything like that. No. You got it for doing something monumental, something very, I don't say cool. Cool is not the word, but something very profound and impactful. And so let's just say, like, okay, you're in World War One. Okay, you're in World War One. You're engaged in the trench warfare of World War One, and you basically, you see some enemies, and they are about to come over, and they're about to like launch chemical warfare, chemical gas over to your side, to your trench, okay? And you haven't gotten your supply of gas mask yet. So if they use chemical warfare on you, on your trench, you and your guys, you're toast, okay? And you see these guys, and they're about to launch these chemical warfare, these canisters right there. But you hop out of the trench and you run across no man's land and you take them out, you got nothing but your rifle, and that's it, okay? You're a sitting duck. You have no cover whatsoever, but you run over there and you take them out right there. And, of course, since there are a lot more guns pointed at you as opposed to your one gun pointed at them, you make the ultimate sacrifice and you give up your life. But you take out those soldiers of theirs that were going to launch those gas canisters right there. And you take out the gas canisters there as well, okay? And you just so happen to have, like, a grenade, and you just so happen to throw it over into their trench before you make the ultimate sacrifice, and you take out, some German soldiers right there, okay? So, pardon me. So if you're a fellow soldier and you're in the trench and you saw this guy run up the ladder out of the trench, out of the safety of the trench, and out into no man's land with no cover, and do all this badassery there, and you saw it like in a big, and you saw it, like, you would be amazed, right, if you saw it there in person. But also, if you were sitting in a movie theater and you saw all that go down in a big movie screen right in front of your eyeballs, if you saw that, it would be a very cool movie military moment. That's the connection, everybody. There you go. Okay? But hopefully that clears it up right there. But with that, I think we've made our honoree for tonight's movie military moment wait long enough. I think we have, right? Let's not make them wait any longer, okay? And so the honoree for this movie military moment tonight is one Staff Sergeant Ambrosio Guion, who fought in the Korean War, okay? And we're going to learn more about the good Staff Sergeant here. But I think the Staff Sergeant, for his heroics that you're about to hear about, I think he deserves some sweet, sweet movie military moment music. Don't you? I think so. That's the least we could do for this hero right here. So let's attend to that right now. This is the movie military moment. And in this movie military moment, we pay tribute to one Staff Sergeant Ambrosio Guion, who fought in the Korean War. And let's find out more about the good Staff Sergeant and what he did, shall we? For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as a platoon sergeant of Company F in action against enemy aggressor forces. Participating in the defense of an outpost or in the main line of resistance, Staff Sergeant Guion maneuvered his platoon over unfamiliar terrain in the face of hostile fire and placed his men in fighting positions. With his unit pinned down, when the outpost was attacked under cover of darkness by an estimated force of 2 enemy battalions, mortar by mortar and artillery fire, he deliberately exposed himself to the heavy barrage and attacks to direct his men in defending their positions and personally supervise the treatment and evacuation of the wounded. Inspired by his leadership, the platoon quickly rallied and engaged enemy in fierce hand-to-hand combat. Although critically wounded during the course of the battle, Staff Sergeant Guion refused medical aid and continued to direct his men throughout the remainder of the engagement until the enemy was defeated and thrown into disorderly retreat. Succumbing to his wounds within a few hours, Staff Sergeant Guion, by his outstanding courage and indomitable fighting spirit, was directly responsible for the success of his platoon in repelling a numerically superior enemy force. His personal valor reflects the highest credit upon himself and enhances the pointless traditions of the U.S. Naval Service. He gallantly gave his life for his country. We salute you, Staff Sergeant Ambrose Yogian, for what you did for this country. And that has been the movie Military Moment. All right. Are you fired up? I know I'm fired up. I'm very fired up right now. Absolutely. And you know what? We deserve to be fired up after hearing about such heroics like that from the good staff sergeant. So, and you know what? If you guys are ever, and I always say this, but you know, just in case we have some new viewers here, in case you know you wake up some morning and you're like absolutely like, you know, you have no energy whatsoever, you are just drained, okay, and you just feel like curling up in a fetal position on your couch, I don't know what a couch is, on your couch, okay, and watching some TV. But you know what? Your wife has got a honey-do list, and she's shaking it right in your face, okay? So you need to be motivated. You need to be energized, all right? Because there will be no couch surfing for you today, at least not right away. So what I would do is I would go to where I get these Congressional Medal of Honor citations and read, you know, however many you need of these to get you motivated, to get you up and up off your ass, okay? And so it would probably help if I gave you the website address, right? So that address is going to be cmohs.org/recipients. And yeah, you don't have to wait for me to to read these off here during the movie Military Moments. Sometimes you need to be fired up, okay? And these will definitely get you fired up. You'll hear about these heroes, you know, they're charging Japanese pillboxes, or like this guy right here, you know, he's engaging in hand-to-hand combat, and he's doing all kinds of stuff right there. And they're good for shaming you into action. Okay, there you go. So go ahead and check out, those citations right there. Okay, and do you and your wife, that's again shaking a honeydew list in your face, a favor right there. Okay, she'll thank you for it, and she might thank you for it in a very good way, if you know what I'm saying. There you go. Anyway, so with that has been the movie Military Moment. Okay, so we are getting pretty close to wrapping up this episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, a Troy episode of Movies Merica, spoiler warning. And right now is always the time where I let you know what movie I will be talking about next week here, that I will be going over next week. And the movie that I'll be going over next week is a little movie that you might have heard of, directed by a director that you may have maybe familiar with, and that movie is The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. Okay, a movie in which no one on the internet has any opinions about whatsoever. There you go. Oh, you'll know that's not true if you go to my X page under @Movies and you'll know I've got thoughts. There you go. As does a few other people on the old interwebs there. So, but yes, I'll be talking about The Odyssey. I'll be spoiler-free reviewing The Odyssey this Sunday afternoon on my Movies Merica Live show there. And that comes on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific. And again, that's Sunday afternoon, this Sunday afternoon, okay? And then next Thursday, of course, a week from tonight, I'll be talking about The Odyssey, spoilers and all, on the Movies Merica spoiler warning show a week from tonight, okay? And in case you didn't start the show, you didn't watch the show from the very beginning here, and in case you need a refresher on what time the show comes on Thursday night, it comes on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and 4 p.m. Pacific on Thursday nights. That's the Movies Merica spoiler warning show, which will be all about The Odyssey. Again, it will be all about The Odyssey next week there from from Chrissy Nolan. There you go. So we'll see if this movie is good. I am really hoping, because I am not one of those people that am assuming it's going to suck from the beginning. I do have some problems with it, with the casting. I'll just let the cat out of the bag. I'm not a big fan of the casting, but I'm hoping that the movie is good in spite of that. That's how I'll put it. That's all I'll say about that right there. So, all right, and let me double check here, see how we're doing in Chatland, and there we go. Okay, so and just to remind you here, we're just to ask of you to request. If you would follow me on the platforms that this here guy right here, your friendly neighborhood Movies Merica, is on. I'm on X under at Movies Merica. Okay, if you would follow me there, that'd be fantastic. And feel free to check out my post, including the aforementioned posts I have on there about the upcoming Odyssey movie. Okay, I'm also on Facebook. I have a Movies Merica page, Movies Merica group. Okay, that I think you can. What do you friend people? Do you follow people on Facebook? I forget. But also I have my Van Ebert profile page on Facebook as well. I'm also on the Gram. I'm on Instagram as well under Movies Merica. I'm on Rumble. Okay, and if you look up Movies Merica on Rumble, you're gonna see like 3 Movies Merica accounts. So if you would follow or subscribe to all 3 of those, that would be fantastic. And again, as I'm talking about all this following, all this subscribing, again, it costs you absolutely no money whatsoever to do it, okay? And it costs you about 0.02 seconds every time to do that as well, okay? I'm also on Gab if you're a Gab guy or a Gab girl, all right? But feel free, hey, if you do follow me on any of those platforms, just DM me on X underneath my @Movies Merica profile or account. And let me know if you follow me on a platform. Let me know what your username is, and I will follow you back. There you go. So happy to do it, because you scratch my back. I'm going to scratch your back as well in the most platonic way possible. Okay, so don't get your hopes up there, Green Bay Packers fans or Ohio State fans. Okay, there you go. All right. So, well, again, I want to thank everybody for checking out the show here, this Troy episode, this retro review episode of Movies Merica, especially my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there, okay? So, and as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/Movies Merica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.